What's up guys, I'm back again with another Logic Pro tutorial, and in this video I'm going to be covering some tips that I use and you guys can use for applying reverb to your vocals. And it really applies to any genre, but in this case it's more specified towards hip-hop. And before you do anything, I would really appreciate it if you guys could click the links in the description, follow me on SoundCloud, and follow the artist on SoundCloud. I'd really appreciate it. It goes a long way, and you guys can hear some of the music that we're creating. So I'm going to give you a little sample of the song, not too much because it's still in the works.
Don't know what the cost is. Got some homies on the devil's lettuce, worried about raising some money for carrots. Some other homies spent a grand for some tablets, worried about they sick grandparents. Guess I should've listened when I heard the music industry taking through stages. Now the same homies off the devil's flowers watching they grandma push a daisies. Bitches told me go home. Now they ride your back, they know mister, don't play. Where the project pack.
Okay, can't preview the whole song, sorry about that. You gotta wait till that's released. But basically in this video I'm gonna be covering auxiliary sends and some tips you can add, some effects you can add to your reverb to make it sound nice and clear. So let's solo the vocal track, and basically whenever I add in reverb I always send it to an auxiliary track, and this is a must do because if you apply reverb to every single track it's gonna use up a lot of your CPU and your computer could crash, and that's not good. And plus sending it to an auxiliary track via bus really allows you to have more control over how much reverb you have, because you're controlling the signal that gets put out to the reverb. So instead of going to each individual track and changing the wet and dry, instead you have one knob to mess around with, which makes it easier on yourself. So to do this, basically you click this little drop down right here, go to bus, send it to whichever bus you want, and then it will create an auxiliary track for you. And I usually name it, so you double click it and name it reverb, and then you add your plugin to that, and then the little knob right here controls how much signal is getting put through. So obviously more signal is more reverb and less is less. And the way I mess with this is I start full signal and then I drop back until I get the right sound that I want. And in this video I'm using Waves plugins basically, but I'll give you alternatives if you don't have Waves plugins. So the reverb I use in this video is Renaissance Verb. It's one of my go-to reverbs besides Space Designer or some other ones. And basically what I do first is I load up plates, vocal plate medium, and then I mess around with the effects from there. So I give it some pre-delay and like a 1.7 second decay time. That's basically how much of a tail it leaves. And so after I do that, I boost up the higher frequencies by 2 dBs within the reverb plugin. And what this does is it just gives it a really nice clear sound to it because it's boosting up the higher frequencies within the reverb. And then I lower down the lower frequencies because I don't like to have the muddy reverb in my mix. And then after I add in the reverb, I add in a channel EQ, just standard, no waves or anything. And then I take out all the low end at 200 hertz. And then I boost it a little bit at 7400 hertz because it gives it that more full, clear sound. And then I just drop it around 17 because you don't need any of that sound. And here I'll play it without and with.
Target. They selling they soul for this rap game, but don't know what the cost is. Got some homies on the devil's lettuce, worried about raising some money for carrots. Some other homies spent a grand for some tablets.
You probably can't hear it unless you have a really good set of headphones or monitors, but it's a subtle change and I like it a lot. And also when this is default, it looks different too, and adding that changes it a lot too. I love it. And then the final effect I put on my reverb is a stereo imager. And this is from Waves plugins. It's the S1 imager, and I just drag the width all the way up. And what this does is it gives it a fuller sound, like it fills the reverb up in your headphones and it just spreads it out. I'll play it without and then with again.
Aim toward your goals, be a target. They selling they soul for this rap game, but don't know what the cost is. That's fame talking. Aim toward your goals, be a target. They selling they soul for this rap game, but don't know what the cost is.
That effect, I love it a lot. It really fills it up in your headphones, and it's a cool effect that you can add. Not many people do it. Oh, I mean, a lot of people probably do it, but they don't explain it in videos. And if you don't have the Waves plugins, Two of the alternatives you could do is for the reverb, just go down Reverb Space Designer, and that's pretty good. I use it a lot. I still use it. It's a good reverb plugin. Can't go wrong with it. And then for the S1 imager, if you don't have that, then you're going to go to Imaging, Stereo Spread, click that, and then you can choose one of these presets and then mess around with the settings from there. And there you go. It's basically alternatives if you don't have those plugins, and if you do, perfect. You can follow along. And this was my video for cool reverb effects, and if you could please follow the links in the description, it'll help me out a lot. Go support the artists, go support me, and thanks for watching. Peace out.